Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with teddybaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a watch from Muhle Glashutte with the Panova, both a green dial version as well as a gray dial version. So in this video and on this channel, we cover watches available for purchase on our website, teddybaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. So in this video, overview of these timepieces. At any point throughout this video, if you have any further questions, check out the link in the description to the product page where you can also purchase the watch and book a time with one of our dedicated watch specialists as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. As far as underrated watch brands go, Muhle Glashutte is one that sits high on the list, often overlooked and in the shadows of larger brands that compete in the same price category. While the brand continues to fly under the radar as one of the best value propositions in watchmaking, it boasts a continuous 5-generation family-owned legacy that dates all the way back to 1869. The company's history includes producing speedometers, rev counters, and clocks for motorcycles, including for BMW, as well as producing high-quality marine chronometers long before their first wristwatch was produced for a shipyard client who needed high performance and really durable wristwatches worn to withstand harsh environments on the seas. But since that time when Muhle has jumped into the world of wristwatches, they have built an impressive reputation for high quality, reliability, and robust timepieces at pretty solid prices as well. Today we're going to look at 2 dial options from the Panova collection, the green and the gray dials. In the past, we have covered the blue version, so if you've not seen that video before, definitely check that one out as well. But we'll take a look at these 2 different tool watches and their 2 different approaches on this type of design. I am going to spend a bit more time looking at the green because that one seems to be a bit more of a general better seller, as well as one that people have a bit more interest in. So taking a look at the Panova on the wrist, we have a case that measures at 40 millimeters in diameter, 10.4 millimeters in thickness, and from a lug to lug distance of the case, it measures at a restrained 47.5 millimeters, at least for that general case diameter. Now overall, the watch does wear pretty true to that 40 millimeter case size, so it should fit well on a variety of wrists out there. Now the case is entirely brushed finished to kind of really fit with that practical tool watch aesthetic that this one is giving off, but also some nice refinement with the way the lugs, the case, and the bezel come together. An embossed screw down crown is found on the case at the standard 3 o'clock position where you can hand wind the watch and set the time. The lack of a date will make the time setting simple, as well as what the approach is with the dial as well. When fully screwed down, the Panova has a water resistance rating of 100 meters, which is, I think, one of the #1 selling points of this watch and kind of where it's positioned as kind of a fun tool watch approach. A couple NATO strap options are available for this Panova, either in nylon or embossed leather, which are a standard 20 millimeter in size, and steel elements also come with that strap to match the matte finish that you'll find on the case. Now, admiring these sunburst dials can be done through the hardened sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. As with the blue dial, both the green and gray dials have the sunburst finish to it, which plays with the light nicely and provides the dial with a range of color. The green goes from dark, almost British racing green to a lighter shamrock green. A similar effect can be found in the gray dial with some dark slate gray colors through some lighter warm gray tones. Providing a splash of color is the orange minute track around the outside of the dial with large lume plots provided at each hour marker. Muhle kept the dial simple as well, with just little in the way of text except for the logo and the company name at the 12 o'clock position with the writing of automatique text printed at the bottom half of the dial above the 6. There is no date window like mentioned, so the only other element to mention here are the stick, hour, and minute hands and the accenting orange second hand. Plenty of superluminova is provided, and the hands and the plot glow bright blue for excellent low light legibility. Overall, we have a simple 3-hander with an emphasis on minimalism and legibility without any unnecessary elements to distract you from reading the time. And the green and the blue are certainly going to be the ones that will have the most fun and character, I would say, compared to the rest of the lineup. And these do deviate from the rest of Muhle's catalog quite a bit, especially when you factor in the price as well as being one of the more entry-level options. So flipping this watch over, we have a closed screw down case back featuring a simple engraving that protects the movement within the SW200. Now, one of the areas where Muhle really separates themselves from other watches in the price category is going to be that the fact that this is not just a standard SW200. What they are going to be doing, at least from the design perspective, is changing the rotor. That's not really an important note, but they are also going ahead and putting in some of their up tech as well with getting their regulator neck installed here, known as their woodpecker regulator neck. This is going to be a patented regulator system invented by Muhle back in 2003, a reinterpreted design from the more popular swan neck design, with being able to fine-tune adjust, as well as helping upping the shock resistance of the piece as well. Apart from there, all the architecture is going to be relatively the same, as the SW200 is a very reliable, serviceable movement and well established in the industry. In terms of standard operation, 28,800 vibrations per hour, 4 Hertz for the beat rate, does feature hacking and hand winding. Hacking stop in the second hand when you pull out the crown to the farthest position, and has a power reserve of 38 hours. So now to unpack looking at these Panova models and just some general thoughts, points of consideration. So now Muhle is a brand that I, again, just think is very underrated. But in terms of these watches and looking at maybe getting into the brand for the first time, I think they offer a very distinct package for what the brand is bringing forth. Now, are these necessarily the designs that I would say encapsulate the true Muhle ethos or design approach with their history in marine chronometers, motorcycle speedometers? I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case. The dial is pretty straightforward, but you are getting something that is certainly different compared to many tool watches out there. You're getting a made in Germany product, a very distinct design style, also getting some actual modifications to the movement on the inside, which will have the architecture of a very reliable Sleeta base inside. Wearability on this piece is also quite good. I can see this working on a variety of wrists out there. In terms of whether or not you're going to go for something a bit more conventional, I think the gray is going to be a better option for somebody that just wants an everyday piece. But if you want something with a bit more splash and more fun in terms of the dial approach, I think the green and blue options are certainly ones to look at. And quite frankly, I think this is just a great option in the $1,000 price range for an everyday watch. It's built to spec, 100 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, and from a brand that is severely overlooked, but producing a good product at that. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Really would appreciate that, and that does help out the channel as well. And if you are in the market for this watch, it is available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. We are a full authorized dealer of all the brands that we carry. Quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support. Also, all of our products come with a full factory warranty, so if something goes wrong, you're covered. In addition to that, we also offer price match, so if you see one of our watches for cheaper at another authorized dealer, fill out the form, we'll get in contact with you. And then finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate from our store goes right back into the content that we're creating, trying to foster up a new generation of watch enthusiasts in the process. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.